My name is Helen Berkun. I'm a Chicago-based fashion photographer, stylist, creative director, influencer, and a mom. Don't let your head grow too big and take yourself so seriously, and be careful on the way up who you push down on the way down. Always be kind. And also have thick skin. I feel like there were so many times where people told me something about my work that hurt my feelings or whatever.
When did you first fall in love with photography?
Oh, at a very young age. So back in the former USSR, my dad would always take pictures. There was no Walgreens when we were developing, right? So my dad used to use a camera and take pictures of us and then develop. He was really into that. And so my dad used to make a dark room in the tiny bathroom when I was 4 years old. And I was always so enamored by watching those images develop and then the way he would fix them afterwards and went through the process. And so he taught me at 4 years old all that stuff. So my cousin was a model, and we're kids, we used to party and go out, and so she overslept. Akira had just opened, and she overslept a photo shoot that they were supposed to have, and didn't show up. It was a sunrise shoot on the beach. It was 4 a.m. or something like that. Another model had to be there. And obviously everybody got pissed.
Right.
And she said, "Don't worry, my cousin's a photographer. She'll shoot your campaign for free." So she calls me and she's like, "We're gonna do this." And somehow I got involved with John from Akira, who was the owner back then. He was one of the original owners. And John had a client, Alicia Bell, and sort of introduced me to that. So it was I was at the right place at the right time, and things started snowballing. And then I produced every fashion show for Akira. I was the one that started doing them with John, and just really got really deep into the fashion world. And we were doing all this stuff and hanging out with all the models, and it was the times of our lives. And yeah. I was getting gigs after gigs. It was the best. It was awesome. So in 2007, I became a single mom, and my child was 4 weeks old. So it was a crazy time in my life.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, our economy crashed.
Right.
So what ended up happening is I was booking all my models from Ford and Elite, and Ford had were opening up an artist division, and one of the bookers there, who was a really dear friend of mine, was going from the women's board onto the artist board. And she goes to me, "You should consider being a stylist." She knew my situation. Photography was really slowing down. Things were not happening in the industry because nobody had the money.
Right.
And she was like, "You should, try styling, maybe whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. If I can make money doing that, great." So I was one of the only people in the Midwest that would have a one-stop shop where you would get photography and styling done. And so during that time of 2007, 2008, I actually worked a ton compared to other photographers and stylists, because I would do one rate and one shoot.
When was your time where you figured out that, hey, I wanted to blog as well, right?
So in our industry, you're super busy during the summer, kind of into fall fashion type of thing, and then things really slow down during the holidays.
Right.
So she was born in September, so right after that whole peak of things, and I had some time. And my brother, for years, was telling me about bloggers. He's like, bloggers are going to be the next thing. And he was more into the political bloggers and stuff. But he's like, "You'll see, you should start a blog in fashion." I was like, I don't have time for that. I'm traveling a ton for work. I'm now having a second child. Things are a little crazy. And I didn't listen to him, and I now regret it, because I do think that I started the blog a bit late.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, then maybe there's something to it. And so I came back, I put it all under one umbrella, under my existing site that I've had for years, just with my photography and styling work. And Helen Berkun was born, and I think that was only 3 years ago.
So how do you balance both of those things? Is your husband just very helpful and there?
He is very helpful, absolutely. And we also have a live-in nanny.
Gotcha.
It helps. And we have an army. We moved to the burbs because we have an army of grandmas and grandpas that help out as well. So listen, it takes an army. I don't pretend to do it all on my own.
Right.
And when I'm working and I'm not here, everybody kind of steps in and helps out. So
thank you for having the conversation with me. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm a hugger. Mama do. Huggers. Give Mama do.
High five.
All right.
Got all of that? Perfect.